Hey, welcome to the Dino and Joe Show. This is Dino, and that over there is Joe.
Hello and almost happy Turkey Day.
Did you get your holiday haircut?
I did get a holiday haircut. It's very oh, look at that. See? This is what
Wow.
happens. It like she cut the side really short and it like hangs over sometimes, so I always have to do like a little part with that. Hence why, this is why I always wear a hat. I don't have to worry about what it looks like. I don't have
I
to
know.
do
Well,
anything fancy.
when you get hair as gray as mine, you start wearing hats.
Just start all the time
Yeah,
hats.
because I'm not dyeing my hair. That's just not happening. So I
You
cover
don't
it.
want just for men?
No, no, no,
We will
no need.
accept them as a sponsor if necessary,
Oh,
but
if they'd love to, yes, if they want to sponsor us, absolutely. But
why
no,
not?
I'm not doing. I'm not dyeing my hair. It's not happening. This is weird to me to do that. I don't want to do that. I'm not gonna
All
do
right, don't do that then.
Yes, and you said Turkey Day. It is
It
fast
is.
approaching, and there's some things that you just do for Thanksgiving, and then there are
Hmm.
some things that some families do, and so we probably would be remiss if we didn't talk Turkey Day.
I agree.
Do you have turkey on Turkey Day?
So we do. We absolutely have turkey. My so before my grandparents passed away, my grandmother would always do it. We would always go to her house.
Yeah.
She would cook the full bird, like the whole thing. It would be a whole day thing. My
Right.
grandfather would carve it. The usual
Sure.
Thanksgiving stuff for us at least.
Absolutely.
Not everybody's that way. That's the usual for us. That's the way I thought everybody did it, and that's fine. That makes sense. But we do have turkey, but I will admit, and I will ask you this question:
Okay.
things that need to be on a Thanksgiving table for you to even consider going to that house for dinner. Like,
Well,
if
see,
go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, like, do you do both families? Like, I know that you have both families like nearby.
Yes. So we used to do it that way, where it would be, my family in the early morning, not
Yeah,
early morning, like, 1, 2-ish.
early
It's
enough,
actually
right?
more
Sure.
afternoon. And then later in the evening, Tiff's parents are a little bit more night owls, so we would do it with them like, 7, 8 o'clock.
Right.
So I would have to very much limit my uh, food consumption to consider 2 plates because I didn't want to insult anybody. Everybody worked
Sure.
very hard on food,
Right.
and it's all very good. Nobody's a bad cook, so it's not like I can't even say, "Oh, I'm too full." Like I wanted to have it, but I
Right.
just have to take it easy.
So the question still remains, right? Is there anything that has to be like on the table?
Yes.
Like for me, it's
Yes.
turkey,
Yes.
mashed potatoes.
Okay.
We do green bean casserole here.
Okay. We so they do that. I do not
They
partake in that. I do not
really?
partake in. Oh,
Ah, I love the
I
green
you
bean
couldn't.
casserole.
No, 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 no. Like here's my thing. I don't like casseroles in general. I don't like the word. It's very off-putting. It's like a
What do you
pot
mean?
roast. Pot roast. That's
What do you
or a
mean it's
meatloaf.
off-putting?
It's I don't like it. Casseroles to me reminds me of meatloaf, and the word has loaf in it. And the only
Okay.
acceptable loaf is a loaf of bread. That's it. Anything else with a loaf in it, pass. I don't know. Can't do it. Casserole, meatloaf, those
Really?
are off the table. Yep, cannot do it.
Huh. Okay. Well, no, I don't have a problem with green bean casserole. You know what I have a problem with? There's one thing that I can't stand.
What's that?
And I know people love it and I know people want to eat it and I don't get it. I don't get cranberry sauce and I don't get the one that comes in a can.
Okay, okay, good. You worried me because if you were going to hit on my key thing that I have to have, which I'll talk about in a second, I, you know,
Oh, I don't
cranberries, like
understand it. I don't
I've
understand it.
I've had it. I like if it wasn't there, I wouldn't mind. And also I've seen it. My parents did it out of a can where they would just take it and then they would
Mhm.
go flump, and then
Yeah.
it would take the shape of the can,
Oh, yeah.
and then they would just display it that way. And I'm like, that
Yes.
makes it less appetizing for sure.
If it's
By
possible to make that look at less appetizing, that's how you do it right there.
that's what they did.
No, I can't do that. I can't even begin to stomach that. Not gonna
here's
happen.
here's the real question: yams.
Yeah.
What
Nope.
are your
No, that was the second thing. I cannot stand sweet potatoes. I can't stand yams. I can't stand sweet
yes?
potato pie. I just
Thank you.
don't like. I will not eat sweet
So
potatoes.
I have an honest question. Maybe you can help me. Remember the discussion we had on ambrosia?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
ambrosia salad. I
Uh-huh.
really want one, and I told Tiff for Thanksgiving, Christmas, my birthday. I
Yeah.
don't care what. find a recipe, make me ambrosia salad. So
Yes.
that is coming, and I will
Well,
tell you.
if she needs one, just let me know. I'll get one for my mom.
I love it. Perfect.
My mom makes ambrosia salad, and yeah, absolutely. I'm sure she'll share the recipe.
You know
I'm
what?
sure.
You have just inspired me right now. I
Okay.
want ambrosia salad as part of my Thanksgiving. There it is. I'm gonna go to the store tomorrow, get the necessary ingredients. Do me a favor. After this, you're gonna text
Uh-huh.
me that, and I'm gonna get all the ingredients, and I'm gonna have that that's a new Thanksgiving tradition.
All
Anyways.
right. I will ask my mom to I'll say, hey, Grandma Agnes, can you please send me your recipe for ambrosia?
Yes.
I'm sure she will, because and then you know what she's gonna say? She's
What?
gonna say the same thing she always says. Why don't you just look it up on the internet? They're all there now. They're all on the internet.
But I want yours.
I know. Well, the thing is that like so many recipes that I thought were just my mom's, I find out is how everybody's been
It's how
making it this whole time because I go on the internet, it's the exact same thing, and
it's
I go, wait a
everywhere.
minute, that was the
What is
way my
going on?
mom made it.
What
Not
is
like
this?
everybody's mom made it that way. I thought just
Yes.
my mom did. I thought it was her recipe. Found out it's just everybody's recipe. It was
The
off some
internet ruins
can
everything
that's
for everybody.
right. So yes, ambrosia. Yes, you can have
Um,
that, but no, I won't eat yams. I won't eat sweet potatoes. That's not happening.
but I mean, prior to my complete derailment to the ambrosia thing, I had a question for you, and that question legitimately was, what is a yam? Like, what is it a vegetable?
So a lot of people think yams and sweet potatoes are the same thing, and apparently they're not. I have just found out. So talk about being alive for a long time and not knowing something. Uh, there is a
You were today days old when you found that out, or
yeah,
however.
I was,
That's
I was. But apparently they're not the same thing. I always thought that they were. I thought yam was just another name for a sweet potato, but
which are also
apparently
gross.
that is not the case.
Yeah, both of
They
them are
they are
equally
different.
gross. I've had Tiff's side of the family try to get me to eat sweet potatoes, and they're like, just try it, and I'm like, no, thank you. I don't. I do not like them because the potato is already perfect the way it is. Potatoes are delicious.
I agree,
Just
100%.
keep them the way that don't add sweet to them. If I wanted something sweet, I would eat ambrosia salad as we have just discussed. So I don't understand. Excuse me. Why we need to bring in candied yams? Like they
Oh
put
no.
like a marshmallow on top or something. It
Yeah,
looks
I don't
like no,
understand the
thank you.
marshmallow thing. Like, it's
I'm
just not
good.
me. No,
Let's just not say we did.
it's got a baby food looking color to it that I
Yes, it
just like.
does.
I don't understand. Like, no, no.
Tiff got some split pea soup the other day, and
Why?
she loves split pea soup, and
What?
it was I just
Oh,
can't. I was like,
oh,
you know what? Let me smell it, and I smelled it. And I was like, yep, nope, this
nope,
is not
nope,
for me.
nope.
And
Not gonna happen.
she loves
Not.
it. God bless her. Like that's great for her. But she loves green bean casserole. She loves sweet potatoes. But like there are some things, and those are the big three that I just cannot get on board with
Yeah,
in
no. I
any way,
mean,
shape.
I'm trying to think. There's like nothing else to me that like that I grew up with or have been around that people do differently, right? I mean, I'm trying to think if like there's anything else. One of the things I talk to my sons about because it's interesting to me,
Mhm.
and this is maybe more Christmassy than Thanksgiving, right? But
Yeah.
you know, like it's funny to me. People used to eat duck and goose,
Hmm.
and now, really, unless you're French
Mhm.
or in Chinese,
Mhm.
that both feature duck in their cooking. There's Peking duck, there's duck à
Mhm.
l'orange, right?
Mhm.
Like that's the only place that you really hear about duck anymore. And I've
It's true.
not heard of anybody eating goose for a very long time.
No,
But
not at all.
those were like the holiday meals from what, I remember of being
Mhm.
like Charles Dickens stories and going
Exactly.
back to
Yep.
that. And so it's like, where did that transition happen that we went away from
Mhm.
duck and goose? And I'm wondering if it's because when chicken became readily available and cheaper,
Right. You're
right?
just like, let's do that.
Right. Not that, anybody's eating a Thanksgiving chicken, but maybe.
Right.
I mean,
I
who
mean, you never
knows?
know.
Um, but no, it's always been turkey. I'll cook the turkey. And I mean, the thing is, I'll cook the Thanksgiving dinner here. So
Sure.
it'll be it'll be the turkey, the potatoes, mashed potatoes, the green bean casserole. My wife will make that. Um, she makes something called green jello. It's like a green jello with like celery in it and something.
You're losing me hard.
Trying to remember what's in it
You're
now
losing
that
me. Oh,
it's okay. I
green
mean,
jello is great, but why add celery? I don't understand. It's
oh
like
no,
already.
Yeah, I have to ask her what it is now because
It's
now I can't remember off the top of my head because like I have some of it just to say I had it. I think it's got like celery in it. It's like
yeah.
weird.
You're no,
Celery,
I'm
man.
out.
And it's got
So
like it's not like Jello. It doesn't look like Jello. It's like it's got a different consistency than Jello because
okay.
I think they put like whipped cream in it or something. I don't know. I'll have to ask.
So for me, the three things that I will always need on a table. And now turkey is whatever. Like if there's not a turkey, that's fine.
Yeah,
Something else, totally cool.
sure.
I will need stuffing. That's
Oh,
non-negotiable.
yeah.
Stuffing is now. Here's my question: do you like actually stuff the turkey with stuffing, or do you just
No,
do stuffing on the side?
I just do stuffing on the side,
Same. That's what we've done.
and then
And
I match flavors. You
yeah,
know,
of course, of
which
course.
which made me mad because I went to the grocery store and they were out of the turkey stuffing, which I then found at Target later on, of all places.
Oh, very good.
Um, I'll be honest with you, I don't give enough credit to Target grocery because I never
Target,
really think about getting grocery
Target
there.
is
But then when I do, I go,
great.
oh look, they have stuff I need.
We,
And they
yeah,
had it, so we got it. So yes, but
Target's fantastic for groceries. We do most of our grocery shopping there because it's less expensive and there's a
yeah,
ton of variety. But again, Target, we're available for sponsorship. Um,
we're
Stuffing.
not selling our soul.
The
But
f-
yes, I mean stuffing's one of those things I think you have to have. But I don't. I try and making the meal not this big ordeal that everybody complains about. It takes all forever to make a Thanksgiving
Sure,
dinner.
sure,
You
sure.
know, like it doesn't take 7 hours. You can
Right,
do it in a measurable amount of time, but
of course.
you have to then not stuff the bird, right?
Right.
Or, you know, what do people do stuff with the giblets part and the neck and all that that's inside the turkey? I
I'm
cannot figure.
sure we haven't, and
I don't
I
understand that.
not my goose to cook, as it were.
I feel
Um,
I'm like, no,
so you talked about mashed potatoes. Do you like garlic mashed potatoes? Would those be okay,
yeah,
acceptable?
that'd be fine. I mean,
I
they're
enjoy a
okay. I
garlic
like garlic.
mashed.
Yeah.
I like a garlic mashed. And then the
No,
last one,
but what I like are mashed potatoes that aren't like that smooth whipped mashed
oh, of
potatoes. They're actually
course,
hand
yeah,
mashed, so they have the
yes,
little
yes, they have
pieces
the
of
little
potato
pieces.
in them.
Absolutely,
Yeah, and then
absolutely.
a stick of butter and you're good.
There it is.
Yeah.
Just one. Why just one?
Well,
Do a
because you got to
few.
put milk in there.
Oh, that's fair.
And so the trick is like when you make your mashed potatoes, put in the stick of butter before you put in the milk
Mhm.
and let that butter melt because then that way you don't need as much milk and you
Look
won't
at
like make runny mashed potatoes. Yeah.
look at you.
I Hey, I cook. I love to cook.
That's
It's one of my
fantastic.
favorite things in the world is to cook.
I'll pass that along to the people in my life who love to cook because it is not me.
Yeah.
Um, the third
I'll
thing
let her know that when I give her the ambrosia salad recipe.
she already knows it. Uh, the third thing is a weird thing, and I think it's just a me thing.
Yeah.
So I've always loved black olives, always.
I mean, I like black olives, but that's not a Thanksgiving thing for me.
For me, like my grandmother always used to do because she knew I loved black olives. I would know which spot was mine around the table because there would be a small little cup of black olives for me to eat by myself.
Really.
I love black
Do you ever
olives.
think to
They
yourself there's a reason why you're eating it by yourself?
maybe, but it's not my problem. Actually, it is my problem, and I love it. It is
That's
a good
funny.
problem to have. People have asked, they're like, "Can I have one?" And I'm like, "No, you should have
No,
asked for them.
no, I'm
Do it."
not sharing these. These were
No,
not
not
to share.
yeah. Like literally, they're in front of me. Like the turkey, the mashed potatoes, everything is shareable. There's like six in here. That's for me. That's a no. It's
So
a
she
no
just
for me,
picked out
dog.
like 6 black olives and gave them to you.
Yes.
Did she buy like those 6 separately? Like, did they not come
No,
packaged?
it was in like one of the cans.
Oh, okay.
But we would all she
But
would
you got
also make
six
a
of them.
salad. Yeah, I got like six of them. It would be a small little thing. It wouldn't be too many. Little
Yeah.
treat, a little
Oh,
treat. But
little
she
I
always
love
made
you.
a salad, so
Little
she
I
would
love you
cut
right
up.
there.
She would cut them up and do it.
Yeah. And then that's you, by the way. That's not a Thanksgiving tradition. That's a Joe tradition right there.
Really?
Yeah. That
Okay.
black olives. No, I've never
I don't
had
know.
black olives at Thanksgiving dinner.
Again,
Does
I don't
Tiff
know.
just do you still have it? Like if you were making it at home, would Tiff give you black olives?
No, no,
No. No.
no.
No.
I haven't
No.
had it for the last couple of years.
No. No love there.
Oh
No.
well. Well, but in fairness, she didn't know. So maybe if I'm sure if I asked her, it would happen. But
Well, I'm sure. Yeah.
it was just a fun thing when I was a kid. Maybe
Yeah.
up until I
Oh,
was
that's
like
cool. That's all
17,
you, but
18.
cool.
Hey, it's
Yeah.
me. But
So
those are the three things.
small,
It's
young
stuffing.
adults.
Young adult, exactly. I would still read Kitchen Soup for the Teenage Soul at that point.
Right.
Um,
Did you wear feety pajamas and curl up with grandma after later on, or
of course I did.
okay?
It's a onesie. Um,
Just this image of you in a onesie.
hey,
Oh,
I have like 3 of them. They're great.
okay. Wow.
They're comfortable.
I'll bet they are.
We had a friend who had a birthday party who it was a onesie party, so we had to. I bought 2, I think.
Wait a minute. So you needed one, but you got three.
I didn't know which one I want. I got 2. I lied. It was 2. It was 2.
Oh, okay.
It was an
You
all
picked up the
black
third
one.
one at some other occasion.
Yeah, it was somewhere. It was some
Yeah.
other thing. One was like a Super Mario one, and one was a plain black one. I didn't know which one I wanted to go with, but I went with Super Mario. It was a great
Oh,
option.
why? And when in doubt,
It's true.
Super Mario it up. I can't wait to see the pictures of you at Thanksgiving in your
I
Super
will.
Mario onesie eating your
I
Black
will.
Ops.
I will happily show it to you. Oh, I wanted to ask.
Yes.
So we went over foods that we need to have.
Yeah.
Have you heard of this concept of Friendsgiving?
No.
No. So this is a very popular with a lot of the youths, as they would say in My Cousin Vinny, today, where people who are a distance away from family and can't afford to come back home, or maybe just don't have family, they
Okay.
just get together with their friends and have Thanksgiving dinner with their friends. It's
No.
essentially
No.
Thanksgiving dinner, but with friends. It's Friendsgiving.
Okay.
Uh, but I was looking on TikTok, as
Yeah.
always. It is an entertainment spot, not about Excel or anything. These group of friends had Tom Hanks giving, where they all came to Thanksgiving dinner with
Yeah.
friends, but they were all dressed as different Tom Hanks characters, which
Holy
I
cow.
thought was outstanding. There was Jimmy Dugan from A League of Their Own,
Yeah.
Castaway, um, Carl Hanratty from Catch Me If You Can,
Yeah.
like literally all of it. My favorite one, and the one I would go with, is Joe from Joe versus the Volcano. Absolute classic film from the 80s. Like it's great. It's absolutely him and Meg Ryan's like first little jaunt together. It was so good.
Right. If I could, I'd try and do the character from the terminal.
Victor Navorsky.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
Victor.
Just
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
carry a suitcase and a small
Right.
can of coffee and
Get a
just have a
coffee.
suit on all the time. That's it.
Right. Easy to pull off.
Yes, very easy to pull off.
That's funny.
But I just wanted to bring that up because I thought that was funny, and yeah,
That's a
I
good
thought
idea.
it's a clever,
Yeah.
it's a
That is
fun
very
way to
clever.
get together with friends and
Absolutely.
you know be appreciative.
Yeah. All right. When we come back, we got more. We'll talk about more holiday, more Thanksgiving, and we'll be back with the Dino and Joe Show. Hey, welcome back to the Dino and Joe Show. This is Dino. That man over there is Joe.
Aja.
Hey, we're talking Turkey Day. We're talking Thanksgiving. We're talking about holiday traditions. And I got to know, is a holiday tradition, now it is when you have kids,
Yes.
is Charlie Brown Thanksgiving a part of your Thanksgiving week?
So here's the thing. I don't think that's if you have kids. I think that's if you have a heart and a soul. Of course you do a Charlie Brown things. Anytime there's a Charlie Brown series for a
Yeah.
specific holiday,
Yep.
you watch it.
I
That's
agree.
what you do.
I agree.
If you are a good person,
Yes.
that's what you do. It's just it warms the heart.
You know what's interesting is they have taken that a step further now in schools, at least with my kids,
Okay.
where when they do a Thanksgiving party at school, they do a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving party.
Oh,
So they have popcorn
yeah.
and toast and jelly beans
That's awesome.
because that's the food that was
That's what the
served,
yeah.
right? And they really tie into the whole Charlie Brown Thanksgiving idea. And they, kind of mash tables together. And then that's what they have. And like that's part of their like school party the day before they get out for Thanksgiving break.
That's incredible. I
Yeah,
like
that's
that's
actually cool.
great.
Yeah. So yeah, because so my youngest one, Henry, he's 6, and he was telling me about, he was so excited he was having a Thanksgiving party. He's like, Dad, we're having popcorn.
Ooh.
And then yeah, and then after he got home, I said, well, how was it? And he goes, Dad, we had 4 kinds of pie. And I'm like, what did you have? And he's like, well, my favorites were pumpkin and chocolate.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't remember the other two because all I would
Those
talk about was the chocolate pie and the pumpkin.
those are gonna be the best two options, probably.
And then my 10-year-old tells
Yeah.
me that he's so excited for Thanksgiving uh, because he's going to have pumpkin pie. That's all he cares about. Pumpkin
Yeah.
pie. Dad, are we having
Yes.
pumpkin pie? Are you making the pumpkin pie? Yes, I'm going to make a pumpkin pie. Okay.
Who cares? Then
That's
we're
it.
good. Everything else is fine in the
Everything
world.
else, just regular food to him, I guess.
So my question to you, we
Mhm.
talked about earlier in the episode about the main course dishes that we have
Yeah.
to have.
Yeah.
Now, is your current family, or have you ever in the past had multiple
My current
desserts?
family or in the past? What do you
I
mean?
mean, like
Like I
before
traded
you got
families
married
at
and
one
had
point?
your own kids, like
You
when
know,
you
I
were
had this
with,
family and I was like, no, I'm going to trade them up.
you're gonna, yeah,
All new kids, all
I
new
gotta
ones.
trade up, all new
Go to
everything.
the family store and pick up
Like
a new one.
when you were younger
Yeah.
with just your parents and you weren't like making the decisions. That's what I meant.
Okay.
Before you had your own family, I
So
should say.
young Russell household with mom and
Yes.
dad and my brother and sister and myself. Okay.
Was there a single pie that someone chose, or were there
Well,
multiple options for
you
desserts?
don't know my mom.
I don't. She
Oh,
sounds wonderful, and she
my
sounds like she knows
mom.
ambrosia salad.
Well, my mom, like, that's what I got my love of cooking is from my
Okay.
mom, right? My mom can cook. And when I say she can cook, she can cook.
Okay.
And so you would have pecan pie.
Ooh.
That's her favorite. We would have pumpkin pie. I loved apple pie, so she'd make an apple pie. During the holidays, we'd have cherry pie. Like my mom bakes, cooks
Okay.
like nobody like you've ever met. Like she's very, very talented in that world. And that's how they grew up, right? So when she was growing up, the girls cooked and the boys worked on the farm, right? And so that's how they grew up. And so she cooks, and man, can she cook. Her food's amazing. Absolutely. And that's like she always said, like, I'm not going to send my kids out into the world when we're getting ready to go to college and then they can't feed themselves.
Right.
So I started with the basics. I could fry an egg, I could make a hamburger, right? I could always rely on something to be able to eat.
Sure.
And then as I got older and had the opportunity, because when you're a college kid, like you don't have a lot of opportunities to cook, right?
Right.
So that comes later in life. And so then I would go back and start asking my mom, how did you make this? How did you make this? And that's where I learned to cook from. But I am amazed that she does everything by memory.
Really?
Like when she cooks something, she's like, and she's one of the people that doesn't necessarily measure. She just goes, oh, this looks right and this looks right.
You measure with
That's
the
that
heart.
I can't. And I'm just like, I'm not that level for sure.
That's a Tiff thing. Is she? I measure with my heart. She's like, yeah, good. That's right. That's exactly how much it should be. And I'm like, how
Yep.
much is that? And she's like, you just saw it. Like, that's how much. I was like, oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
I
And
don't know
so
how to
like
do that.
when I would be like, hey mom, you need to write it down, she'd be like, I don't
I don't know
know.
how.
I don't know how
I
much
don't
I
know how to do
use.
that. Yeah.
So but yeah, no, we would have all kinds of like our pies. And I remember like at Christmas, she would make cookies upon cookies, all different kinds of cookies. It was incredible. And I know, and she worked, and I don't know how she found the time. Like, that was but that was her space, and her space was the kitchen. And my dad wouldn't walk in there unless it was to like ask my mom if she could have something to eat.
Right.
Like, so that was like her world, and
So
she was very good at it, very, very good at it.
so of all of the pies,
Hmm.
which was your person? You were like, Mom, stop everything else. Give me a piece of that blank
Oh,
pie.
apple pie. My
Apple pie.
mom's apple pie, absolutely.
100%. Okay.
Yep.
Now, would you put a little bit of ice cream on top, or is it or a little Cool Whip
Mm,
whipped cream, or just the pie by
not whipped
itself?
cream, not
Not
whipped
whipped
cream.
cream.
No,
Okay.
but maybe ice cream if we had it. Like, my dad's like big favorite thing to go to is ice cream. So
Yeah.
it's always just vanilla. He's the kind of guy he is. And
Good. That's a great ice cream. I never understood people's problem with it.
it's just vanilla. Like it is
That's
what it
good.
is. It can be. So yeah, no, I mean, I guess maybe we would have ice cream with it if we had it, but not necessarily, no.
Okay.
And I will tell you, my mom's rhubarb pie. Like I like rhubarb. I know a lot of people that my wife hates rhubarb. And I always laugh that anything that you have to dump like 2 cups of sugar into to make it taste good
Wait,
is,
I have a
is
question.
probably a problem.
What
But
what is a rhubarb? Because I always
rhubarb,
hear people talking about rhubarb pie. I don't know what it is.
rhubarb is a root vegetable. So it is a red stalk and a big leaf, and it grows in the ground, and you pull it, and it looks like it looks a little bit like celery actually. And so like you eat the actual like stalk part of it. It's really bitter. really bitter. And now when I was a
Yeah.
kid, my grandmother, my dad's mom, she would pull it out of the ground, wash it off, cut off pieces, and you would eat it. And that's how I got used to eating rhubarb. And yeah, it's got a tartness to it. It's unbelievable at times. And you do, like when you make something like rhubarb cobbler, rhubarb pie, you have to put a ton of sugar in it. I enjoy it, but it is very much an acquired taste. Most people that I know don't like rhubarb.
I will just say I have a general rule of thumb. You should not consume a root vegetable in a pie. Vegetables should be in a pie. There you go. Unless it's a like, what is it? Scottish pie? Baker's well
What?
it's got
Shepherd's pie?
shepherd's pie. I knew it was somewhere in there. I was thinking of Scotland. There's shepherds in Scotland, whatever. Yes. A shepherd's pie. That's the only pie that should have vegetables in it. Otherwise, it needs to be a fruit. Fruits are just naturally, or pumpkin. I will allow pumpkin. But for
I'm not
me,
going to agree with you on that. I'm just sorry.
that's all right. We don't have to agree on everything. That's okay.
I mean,
But
I'm sorry, but
cherry
I
pie,
really like it.
cherry pie, with a very close second of apple. But cherry for me, I don't know why, outstanding. Like one of my favorites. It's
Cherry pie is
sweet.
delicious.
Hot cherry pie is just the best. And in fact, it's making my mouth water right now. I want some cherry pie.
I can't help you with that right now. Sorry.
That's all. That's all right.
Yeah,
Or what
no,
else?
I think rhubarb can go in a pie. Yes, it is a vegetable, but it's delicious when it's done right. Also, haven't had it in a very long time because nobody I know likes it, and I'm not making it for just myself. And I'll probably screw it up, so I'll probably have to ask my mom to do that. So
There you go.
yeah, when I get home next. Yeah. So is there any other traditions though for Thanksgiving? Like, do you watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade?
If we remember,
Oh no, we do here.
it's not,
I
it's not that we
We
don't
do
like it. It's
absolutely.
just sometimes we some days we sleep in, some days we don't.
Nope.
Sometimes we'll be all crazy about it. Sometimes it depends on if is there somebody performing that we really like, things like that usually.
Well, first of all, you get to watch all of the uh, Broadway performances before the parade starts because people don't realize how long that parade really is.
Mhm.
And where they actually, film at Macy's, that parade is all the way up Manhattan.
Mhm.
And it's got a while to go to get there. And so they have to fill time. So they fill it with Broadway, which is pretty cool. I mean, most of
Yeah.
those are usually pretty good. My favorite part, though, I have to say, coming from the world of music, my favorite part of the whole Thanksgiving Day parade is the massively bad lip syncing that happens with all the musical artists that perform
Right. Of
because
course.
there's no way, like it's freezing cold,
Yeah.
right? And you can sound that good and that on, and then there's no band, but there's music. Like it is so bad. And then sometimes they're like really bad. Sometimes they don't even get close.
That's one of those times where I find it completely acceptable to lip sync
Oh, well, I
because
mean, if you're
the
gonna do it,
temperature.
right? Look,
Right.
if I've paid to watch you perform and you lip sync, you're ripping me off. That I
Yeah,
have
I
a
don't like that
and
at all.
and I get every band tracks in some way,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
You
Yep.
know, I understand that there's this augmentation to the music, because some things you just can't do live, and you can't reproduce
Of
these
course.
sounds from
Right.
a studio to live. I get that, but if you're actually not singing and you're lip syncing, and I paid to watch you perform, then you owe me money.
Yeah, give
Um,
me my money back.
in this situation where it's a one-off and you're just trying to like promote whoever the person is, right? And whether it's somebody you like, somebody you don't, they lip sync, I'm like, yeah, whatever. I just like to laugh at the really bad lip syncers because some
Of
people
course.
can't lip sync well. Some
No.
songs don't lend themselves to being lip
Nope.
synced, so you're like, nah, there's no way that you double sang that chorus line and you managed to nail both while you were standing on a float in 20-degree weather. So yeah, this is one of my favorite parts.
Uh,
um and I think the hosting is so badly done sometimes.
it can be for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, hi, Rick, how are you? I'm fine. I'm fine. Just what's going on?
Right.
Well, you're telling me. Let's take a look at the Woody Woodpecker float. Like, it's like, come on, guys. Let's not
Yeah.
like.
Yeah. And let's be honest, you want to see the balloons because there's this chance that one day they'll go careening into a building.
Yes.
And there could be like this apocalypse now moment going on.
My absolute favorite episode of Seinfeld was when Mr.
Yes.
Pitt won the opportunity to hold the Woody Woodpecker balloon,
Yep.
and it popped.
Yes.
And that's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite.
And then being a parent, I love that parade because at the very end of the parade, you know who you're getting.
Oh yes, it is.
Here comes Santa Claus.
Here we go.
And from that moment on, as a parent, you always have the power to say, Santa Claus is watching you. Because they saw Santa.
Yeah.
They know Santa is now in the neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, so that it makes it a very, very fun part of the whole thing because you realize at the end when you're like, oh, there's Santa Claus, look, kids, there's Santa.
Hey, be careful. Watch what you're doing. Somebody's watching.
Hey, Santa Claus is watching you. Like I can't even tell you how many times that gets said in the house. And those things that you say that when you become a parent, you're never going to say, you say them.
Of coururse. You
say them because you grew up on
built
them.
into you. Exactly.
And it is hardwired. And it is unbelievable how many times you say something your parents said that you said, I'm never going to say that. Oh, yes, you are. And now, as a parent, every time I hear somebody go, well, I'll never say that when I get, oh, yes, you will.
Yes, you will.
You say you won't. And then one day it's going to come out and you're going to be like, oh,
man. Today's the day.
Never take it back.
Nope. It's out there. It is out there.
But yeah, I mean, that's a big thing. We get up, we watch the parade.
We watch football. We'll usually watch football, or at least if we don't watch it, we'll at least throw it on the TV in the background.
I will watch some football. There's a lot of football on that day now. And I some of it, I think it kind of loses itself to me because I'm not a big NFL fan anyway. I usually watch the Premier League game that they usually put on now on Thanksgiving Day.
Okay.
So I usually watch that. And that usually leads into a football game. I'll watch the Dallas game because I grew up a Dallas fan. So I watch the Cowboys play. But other than that, like, it's weird to me that Dallas and Detroit still play on Thanksgiving. And now they've added a third game because people didn't like Dallas and Detroit always playing on Thanksgiving. Like,
right.
So that's a little weird one. But yeah, I mean, we'll probably watch some football, but I don't know. Other than that, like, I'll enjoy the fact that I'm going to be off work.
Yeah, well, I'm going to enjoy the football game this year because the Bears are playing the Lions, and we actually will probably win. Like, hopefully, because we have whiffed it like we were going to win this last week against the Ravens, but I'll just be damned if somehow we didn't just pull a typical Bears play and just really just beef that so hard. So
yeah,
here the Lions. Here's hoping. Here's hoping.
You do realize if you lose the Lions, like you're gonna get a phone call from me.
Yeah, I'm aware. If we lose to the Lions, I'm gonna get a phone call from my father because he was born in Detroit. He's a huge Lions fan.
Yeah,
and they live in Michigan, so I'm gonna get a call. Yeah, my mom and I will hear about it nonstop. So that's why we need to win and just be fine.
All right. Well, if you lose, I guess we'll race to see who calls you first, your father or me.
Well, we'll have a little, we'll three-way call it together. That way everybody can
go.
Take
all your lumps at once.
Exactly.
And then you can go have some rhubarb pie.
Oh.
It's the Dino and Joe Show.